Hello students of class 6. Today I will start the second term portion, which is the digestive system. Chapter number 4, digestive system. So students, you know that we all are eating food. And why do we eat food? Yes, we need food to grow and to get energy. And what is the meaning of this word food? Food is actually the combination of inorganic and organic substances which is capable for providing us energy, and this is also capable to provide us growth. So like plants, animals are able to make their own food? No. Like plants are able to make their own food, but animals and human beings are not able to make their own food. So how we are surviving? We are dependent on the plants. Plants are able to make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. That's why they are called the autotrophs. And animals and human beings are not able to make their own food. They depend directly or indirectly on the plants. That's why they are called the heterotrophs. Or we can say in other words, the human beings are taking their nutrition from the plants or other animals. That's why human beings comes under holozoic organisms. They are showing holozoic nutrition. All the human beings are showing holozoic nutrition. So this chapter is the chapter 4, digestive system. The food which we are eating is digested by the body. Now, the food which we eat daily comprises of 7 components. These are called the nutrients: carbohydrates, protein, fats, mineral salts and vitamins, including water and roughage. So the kind of nutrition in which an organism feeds on solid food and utilizes it is known as holozoic nutrition. Types of holozoic nutrition are herbivore, carnivore and omnivore. You know that herbivores are the organisms or the animals which are taking their nutrition directly from the green plants, or the examples are the like goat, deer, zebra. Carnivores are the organisms which are taking their nutrition by eating other other animals. And third category is the omnivores, organisms that feed on both plants and other animals. Carnivore example is the lion or tiger, and omnivore example is the bear, crow or including human beings. So human beings comes under this category, omnivore category, and omnivores comes under the are showing holozoic nutrition. So in most of animals including man, the nutrition is the holozoic, and for this nutrition nutrients are required, and these nutrients are carbohydrate, protein, fat, mineral salts, vitamins and water plus roughage is required for providing energy to the body with the help of food. So in your chapter, nutrition in human beings, next topic which is given on page number 46 is the nutrition in human beings. In humans, the mode of nutrition is holozoic. I have already told you the meaning of this word holozoic. It involves 5 steps. First is ingestion, second digestion, third absorption, fourth assimilation and next is the egestion. Now first is the ingestion. Ingestion is the process of taking in of food is called ingestion. And next, this taking of food in the mouth is known as ingestion. For eating, we are taking inside the food in our mouth. We are picking up the food item and keeping it in our mouth. This process is known as ingestion. After the second step in this Holozoic nutrition is the digestion. Digestion meaning is the breaking down of food into smaller soluble compounds by the digestive juices or enzymes is called digestion. Third step in this is the absorption. The passing of the soluble simple food into bloodstream of the body is called the absorption. In the fourth step, the final stage of food is the final stage when the digested food is used up by the body cells as fuel is called assimilation. And last is the egestion. The process of getting rid of the undigested solid part of food is known as egestion. So 5 steps are there in human beings for the process of nutrition. First is the ingestion, second digestion, third absorption, fourth assimilation, and the last stage is the egestion, removal of undigested matter of food. Now we begin from the ingestion. What is the meaning of the meaning of this word ingestion? The process of taking in food in the mouth is known as ingestion. Where we are taking in food? We are taking in food in our mouth. So the food in the mouth. Now you can open your mouth and see, or you can go and see in the mirror also, that food which we are eating, firstly we are opening our mouth, then we are keeping it in our mouth. Now what is present in the mouth? First is, you can see, that is the teeth. Teeth, tongue are present in our mouth, which are helpful for the digestion of food. So first is the teeth, and from the mouth digestion starts. Now first is the teeth. Functions of teeth are, it helps to speak, give shape to the face, chewing of food. And you know that there are 2 sets of teeth present in the human body. First is the primary or deciduous or milk or baby teeth, and second stage of the set of teeth is the permanent teeth. This primary teeth, these are 20 in number. They start appearing at the age of 6 to 8 years. Okay, this, which is also known as the temporary teeth, 6 to 8 months of a child. The entire set is completed by the age of 2 years. Between 3 to 12 years of age, the teeth start falling off and make way for permanent teeth. In place of this permanent teeth replaces the temporary teeth. Man has 32 teeth in adults. In adult human beings, there are 32 numbers of teeth in an adult human beings, which bite, tear and reduce the food into smaller particles. Now, next are the types of teeth in human beings. There are 4 types of teeth present in human beings, or we can say commonly say man, human beings. These are the incisors, canines, premolars and molars. First is the incisor. The major function of the incisor is for biting and cutting the food. These are broad and have sharp edges. There are 4 incisors in each jaw. How many incisors are there in each jaw? 4 incisors are present. Second is the canines. Canines are basically for tearing of the food. On both the sides of incisors, 1 canine is present. These teeth are pointed and are used in tearing the food. Third is the premolars. These teeth are used for grinding the food. They are broad with ridges called cusps. There are 4 premolars in each jaw. And the last is the molars. These teeth also crush and grinding the food, for crushing and grinding the food. They are broad with many ridges. There are 6 molars in each jaw. The last pair of molars are the wisdom teeth. They grow only when a person is 20 years or more, then it appears. Now see this on your page number 47, one table is there. In adult, each jaw has 4 incisors, flat teeth for biting into food, 2 canines, pointed teeth for tearing harder food such as meat, 4 premolars for grinding food, and 6 molars larger than premolars also used for grinding. Wisdom teeth are the last molars to come through at the back of the mouth. The dentition of adult human is described in a dental formula. You can see this: I for incisor, C for canine, P for premolar, and M for molar. In upper jaw, 2 incisors, 1 canine, 2 premolar and 3 molars are present. And in lower jaw, 2 canines, 2 incisor, 1 canine, premolar, 2 premolar and 3 molars are present. So this is called the dental formula of human beings present in the oral cavity or in the mouth. Now look at this table. It shows the number of teeth in the mouth. Types of teeth: incisor, canine, premolars and molars. Incisor function cutting, canines function tearing, premolar and molars function crushing and grinding purpose, grinding the food. Now in upper jaw, total incisor 4, canines 2, premolars 4 and molars 6. In lower jaw, incisors 4, canines 2, premolars 4 and molars 6. Total number of incisor in the mouth 8. Then canines 4, premolars 8 and molars 12. Total number of teeth present in adult human being is the 32. So how many are there? 32 teeth are present in an adult's mouth. Digestion of food begins with the teeth. Therefore, you must keep your teeth clean and healthy by brushing them properly and taking care of them. Although tooth enamel is the hardest substance in the body, it tends to be eroded and destroyed by the acid produced in the mouth during the breakdown of food and due to more intake of sticky foods like chocolates, burgers, noodles, etc. We should avoid eating these types of food. We have to take care of our tooth. See, in our mouth, so many types of teeth are present. Now, next is come on page number 48. On page number 48, another topic is given: digestive system of human beings. You already know that digestion in human is extracellular and involves many organs, namely mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine and anus. These organs are responsible for ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion, and together constitute the digestive system or the human digestive system. This human digestive system comprises of 2 parts. First is the alimentary canal and another one is the associated digestive glands. Alimentary canal and associated digestive glands. In the alimentary canal, major organs are first is the mouth, then this long food pipe which is known as the esophagus, then stomach, then small intestine, large intestine and then last is the anus is present. Plus related with this alimentary canal, associated digestive glands are also present, and these are in the mouth, that is the salivary gland, Near this small intestine, stomach, liver and pancreas are called the associated digestive glands. So firstly we begin from the organs of the digestive system, or we can say organs of the alimentary canal. The long tube, somewhere it is bag-like, somewhere it is long, thick or thin, and that system forms the digestive system. The first part is the alimentary canal, which consists of many organs. Different organs are present. Now first organ of the digestive system is the mouth. As you know that in the mouth teeth are present. I have already given the description of teeth. Major purpose, function, chew the food properly. Tongue is present in the mouth. Tongue is used to mix the food with the saliva, which is secreted by the salivary gland. Now students, in the mouth, food is taken in the mouth and masticated before swallowing. This mastication is brought about by teeth, jawbone and muscles. Food is chewed and broken down into smaller pieces. This is called mechanical digestion. It prepares the food for digestion by the action of enzymes, which is called chemical digestion. 3 pairs of salivary glands are also present in the mouth. These secrete saliva. In the mouth, 3 pairs of salivary glands are present. That parotid gland, sublingual gland and submandibular glands are present, which are secreting saliva in the mouth. Now, what is the role of saliva? Saliva lubricates and softens the food and helps in swallowing with the help of tongue. Saliva contains an enzyme called salivary amylase, which is commonly called ptyalin, which acts on a starch to convert it into maltose. These are the types of sugars. This is the reason that when we chew boiled rice or boiled potato nicely, it starts tasting sweet. Now, role of saliva: it aids swallowing, it acts as a lubricant during chewing, it facilitates speech by lubricating the tongue and lips. It is a solvent which carries the molecules that convey the taste of food to the taste buds. It assists in the digestion of starch. It has an antibacterial effect also, means it kills the germs also in the mouth. It helps to prevent mouth infections and tooth decay. So, very helpful. Saliva is very helpful. Next part of this organ in the alimentary canal or the digestive system is the esophagus. Spelling starts from O-E-S-O-P-H-A-G-U-S, but we pronounce esophagus, or commonly called the food pipe. This food pipe is connected the alimentary canal from mouth to the stomach. No digestion occurs in the esophagus. Only it is used to pass the food from mouth to the stomach. This food pipe is 25 centimeter long tube. Digestion does not take place in esophagus, and the muscles of the esophagus contract one after other in a wave-like motion. With the help of this wave-like motion, with the help of muscles of the esophagus, food moves in downward direction. This wave-like motion of the muscles pushes the food along the body and is called peristalsis. This wave-like action of the wall of the muscles of this alimentary canal, which is used to push the food in downward direction, is known as peristalsis. Now, next organ which is connected with the alimentary canal, first is the mouth, second food pipe or esophagus, then now third is the stomach. Now, esophagus is connected with the stomach. This Stomach lies in the abdomen and is a large sac-like structure. It is about 30 centimeter long, shaped like the letter J letter, English letter J, with muscular walls. Its secretion is known as the gastric juice, which helps in digestion. It usually takes about 2 hours for all the food from one single meal, either lunch or dinner or breakfast. It takes time for digestion purpose, for further digestion purpose, to move out of the stomach into the intestine, now in the form of semi-solid food called the chyme or chyme. This stomach. Now function of the stomach is this stomach releases gastric glands, gastric juice with the help of gastric glands, hydrochloric acid and mucus. Hydrochloric acid or HCl is used to kill many harmful germs or bacteria. Mucus protects the inner lining of the stomach, and gastric juice contains two enzymes. The name of the enzymes are the pepsin and renin. Enzymes are basically the chemical compounds which are helpful for the digestion. Name of the enzymes are the pepsin and renin, present in the gastric juice, which is secreted by the gastric glands, and these gastric glands are present in the stomach, which is secreting the gastric juice, hydrochloric acid and mucus. Now this enzyme contains pepsin and renin. This pepsin changes protein into peptones. Now what is protein? Protein is a type of nutrient, basically present in meat, egg, pulses, these things. But it is the complex compound. It has to convert into simpler form. So this pepsin is helpful to convert protein into peptones with the help of enzymes pepsin, and this pepsin enzyme is secreted by the gastric juice. This gastric juice is released by the gastric glands, and these gastric glands are present where? Inside the stomach. Now next is the after stomach, this alimentary canal. First was the first organ, mouth. Second, food pipe or esophagus. Third, stomach. After stomach, next part is the small intestine. See, this small intestine is very long, coiled tube of 7 meters long in which stomach opens. This stomach opens into this small intestine. The upper initial part of the small intestine, this C-like structure, small, which is connected with this stomach, is known as duodenum. Okay, the term is the duodenum. Liver produces bile juice which is stored in gallbladder and is released into the duodenum when required. Duodenum also receives pancreatic juice from the pancreas. These juices play a vital role in digestion. This liver and pancreas are connected with the duodenum, the upper part of the small intestine. The bile juice does not contain any digestive enzymes, but it helps in the digestion of fats by emulsifying them. Emulsification meaning is the breaking down of fat into simpler compounds, simpler droplets, is known as the emulsification of fat. To break the fat molecules into smaller droplets, to provide larger surface area for the enzymes to act. Now, this small intestine contains amylase, trypsin and lipase. Are there 3 types of enzymes. This trypsin changes proteins into peptones. Lipase acts on fats and changes them to fatty acid and glycerol. Amylase converts leftover starch and maltose. See this. Trypsin changes peptones and peptides into amino acid. Maltase changes maltose into glucose. Sucrase changes sucrose into glucose and fructose. Lactase changes lactose into glucose and galactose. Peptides are converted into amino acids by the action of peptidases. Digestion of protein, fat and carbohydrates is completed in the small intestine. Now students, maybe in your mind that question is arising, what is trypsin, maltase, sucrase, lactase, peptidase. Again I am saying these are the types of enzymes which are secreted by the intestinal glands, and these enzymes are helpful for the breaking down of complex compound into simpler form. Like in this digestion, protein is or fat or carbohydrates are the complex compound. It has to convert into the simpler form. Firstly, digestion start in the mouth with the help of saliva. Okay, it converts into simpler form. Saliva contains enzyme amylase. Then in stomach contains enzymes pepsin, renin, again to convert the food into simpler form. And then next is in the small intestine, which contains many types of different types of enzymes. These enzymes are helpful to convert complex food compound into simpler form for proper digestion. The food which we are eating, the meaning of digestion is breaking down of complex food into simpler form. So the major portion of digestion occur in the small intestine. The small intestine is very long and it takes time to change complex compound of food into simpler form. The food remains in the small intestine for about 3 to 5 hours for digestion and absorption. One more thing occurs in the small intestine, not only digestion but very important another part, the final stage is the next step of this digestion process, nutrition process, that is the absorption of nutrients. Small intestine not only digests but also absorbs food. The inner surface of a small intestine, ileum, has millions of tiny finger-like projections. See this finger-like, many finger-like projections are present in the inner wall of small intestine, and these finger-like projections are known as these finger-like projections which are present in the inner wall of a small intestine, which are known as villi, or plural singular word is the villus. One is called the villus and many are there. That's why these are called the villi. These villi contains the blood stream, blood vessels, blood capillaries. These blood capillaries capture the nutrients into the blood stream, into the blood, and blood supplies in all over the body this process and carries the nutrients. This final stage of supplying nutrients to each and every cell to the body is known as the last stage, is known as the assimilation of food. Next is the one more thing you have to remember, the villi are about 0.5 millimeter long and may be finger-like or flattened in shape. The villi increases the exposed surface of the cell by 20 times. Each villus, singular word villus, plural word is villi, has a dense network of food capillaries for the easy absorption of fluids. So this small intestine is helpful for the not only for the digestion of food but for absorption of food also. Now where this nutrient is absorbed? these nutrients are absorbed into the blood stream, and blood circulates in all over the body to supply nutrients. Nutrients means simpler form of carbohydrate, simpler form of protein, simpler form of fat, simpler form of vitamins and minerals in all over the body to provide us energy and for the growth of the body. So this small intestine plays a very important or major part of digestive system. Now the last stage is the final stage after assimilation is the large intestine. Next organ of the alimentary canal is the large intestine. In this large intestine, which is connected with the small intestine, the lower part, it is about 1.5 meters long and it consists of 3 regions. Major regions are, first region is known as the cecum. This portion is known as the small part is here. It is when it is connected with the small intestine, then it is called the cecum. Then long part, this inverted U-like structure is known as the colon, ascending colon, transverse colon and descending colon. And the lower portion of this large intestine is known as the rectum. So 3 parts are there: cecum, colon and rectum. The undigested food cannot be absorbed by the blood and is passed to the large intestine, colon and then rectum. The water is absorbed in the large intestine and the solid fecal matter is thrown out through the anus. This is called egestion. Rectum stores the feces temporarily. So students, every portion of the food is not digested by the body. Some undigested matter, if it will remain in the body, it will cause harm to the body. So undigested matter of food comes into the large intestine along with the water. It also, this large intestine absorbs water also to make the undigested matter of food into semi-solid form. That undigested matter of food or semi-solid form is known as feces. That feces is stored in the lower part of the alimentary canal, which is known as the rectum. And when the rectum is filled with the undigested matter of food, then it has to remove out from the body. And the removal of this undigested matter of food from the body to outside is known as egestion. And how it is removed out from the body? The lower opening of the alimentary canal is known as the anus. So students, this is the completed. Now, so first part of the alimentary canal is the mouth. Second is the food pipe or esophagus. Third is the stomach. Fourth is the small intestine. And next is the large intestine. Now, I have already told you, with this digestive system, not only this alimentary canal is present, but some associated digestive glands are also present. These associated digestive glands are first is the salivary gland. Salivary glands are present in the mouth. In which region? In the mouth. Then second is the liver, then third is the pancreas. I have already told you that salivary gland are of 3 types which are present below this ear. Then submandibular and sublingual glands are present. Below the ear, parotid glands are present. Near this jaw, lower jaw, submandibular gland, and near this chin area, that is below the tongue, that is the sublingual salivary glands are present, which are secreting the saliva, and saliva contains the chemical compound which is known as the enzyme. The name of the enzyme is the amylase, which is helpful for the digestion of food. So digestion of food starts from the mouth. Next part, associated digestive gland is the liver. This liver is the bilobed, right lobe and left lobes are present. This excess amount of glucose is converted into glycogen and is stored in the liver. The fats as such are stored in the adipose tissue. Excess of these amino acids are used for building protoplasm. The amino acids are broken into ammonia. Excess of these highly toxic ammonia gets converted into less toxic urea in the liver. Urea is excreted through the kidneys. There are some disorders also in the process of digestion developed due to irregular food habits, like taking stale, spicy, oily and overcooked food. Improper chewing of food is also harmful for the system. It may cause constipation, ulcers. All these disorders can be avoided by eating simple food constituting lot of vegetables and fruits along with regular and proper food habits. We have to take balanced diet properly. And third associative gland is the pancreas. This pancreas is a leaf-like structure connected with this alimentary canal. It is also secreting trypsin and lipase enzymes. This trypsin enzyme for digesting proteins, lipase enzyme for breaking down emulsified fats. Now, see this, the relationship between the stomach, the duodenum, the liver and the pancreas. The duodenum, what is duodenum? Duodenum is the upper part, C-like structure of the small intestine which is connected with the stomach, is known as duodenum. It is the upper part of the small intestine. And this duodenum receives three secretions. Bile from where? From the liver. Pancreatic juice from where? Pancreas, the organ pancreas. And intestinal juice or succus entericus from the small intestine. This bile is a greenish fluid made in the liver and stored in the gallbladder. This bile is stored in the gallbladder. You can see small organ is present near this liver, is known as the gallbladder, which is used to store the extra bile which is produced by the liver. The food coming from the stomach is acidic. Bile changes it into alkaline medium by the action of pancreatic enzymes. This bile is very helpful and it contains salts which is help to emulsify fat, that is break down large globules of fats into small globulate. See this bile. This bile, suppose I am taking the example of this chalk. Suppose this is the fat molecule, and bile action upon the fat and it breaks into small droplets of bile. Bile acts upon the fat and breaks into, suppose this is the complex compound fat, and bile act upon the fat and breaks into small droplets of fat. This process or the action of bile is known as emulsification of fat. So next is the pancreatic juice made in the pancreas. This leaf-like structure connected with the duodenum, upper part of the small intestine. It secretes trypsin and lipase enzymes. Trypsin for digesting proteins and lipase for breaking down of emulsified fats. And the third is the intestinal juice, which is also known as succus entericus. This lower portion of the small intestine contains, which is called the ileum. The digestive process of the duodenum continue for a long time in the ileum. The wall of ileum produces intestinal juice. That intestinal juice name is the succus entericus. What is the term? Succus entericus, commonly called intestinal juice, secreted by the small intestine. Which portion of the small intestine? Lower portion of the small intestine, which is known as the ileum. And this succus entericus has three types of enzymes called the carbohydrates, proteases and lipases. These enzymes complete the digestion of food. So students, this is starch, carbohydrate, pancreatic amylase converted into sugar, maltose, protein complex compound with the help of proteases enzyme converted into peptides and amino acids, fats converted into fatty acid and glycerol in the presence of lipase enzymes, peptides converted into amino acid with the help of peptidases enzymes, and maltose converted into glucose with the help of maltase enzyme. So students, this why do we eat food? This food absorbed food is utilized for obtaining energy, building up new tissues and repair of old tissues or cells. So this chapter is completed, and one reading, firstly you have to read the chapter carefully and listen the video, and on page number 52 one summary is given of this chapter, a summary of the main human digestive system below this activity 3, and on page number 53 activity 4 is given to find out the path of food in the alimentary canal. Very small steps are given. You have to read these thing and remember it, learn it properly. Again, I am giving the gist of this chapter. This digestive system consists of two parts, alimentary canal and associative digestive glands. This alimentary canal consists of many organs. First is mouth, then second esophagus, food pipe, third stomach, fourth small intestine, fifth large intestine. These are the major organs of the alimentary canal of the digestive system, and with this alimentary canal some other associative digestive glands are there. Near this mouth, what is present? That is known as the salivary gland, secretes saliva. Near this duodenum, small intestine, near this stomach, what is present? That is known as the liver, secretes bile juice. And this leaf-like structure, pancreas, associative gland, which secretes pancreatic juices. So firstly, 5 steps are there for the digestion purpose. First step is the ingestion, taking in food inside the mouth. Then we chew the food with the help of teeth and mix the food with the help of tongue with the saliva. Then we swallow the food. So after swallowing, it comes into this esophagus. In the esophagus, it moves into wave-like action. That action is known as the peristalsis. Food moves in downward direction. Then after esophagus, it comes into the stomach. Stomach secretes hydrochloric acid, mucus and gastric juices for further digestion. After that, food converted into chyme, and chyme comes into the small intestine. Here major portion of digestion occurs with the help of many enzymes, secretion by the bile, pancreatic secretions, and in the intestine so many succus entericus is there, which is used to convert complex food compound into simpler form. After that, next process after digestion is the absorption of nutrients. After absorption, where it occurs? In the small intestine. How? With the help of which process? That is known as the villi. With the help of villi, it occurs. Where it is present? In the small intestine, finger-like projections. These projections absorb nutrients, and after that, where it comes? In the ileum portion. What happens? Assimilation. It comes under in the blood stream. With the help of this villi, it comes in the blood stream, and food, but with the help of these nutrients we get energy and building up new tissues and repairing of new old tissues. After every portion of food is not digested by the body, it moves into the large intestine. See, this small intestine is connected with the large intestine. The portion of large intestine, first portion is known as the cecum. The long portion is called the colon, and here undigested matter of food is stored in the rectum. That undigested matter of food is stored in the rectum, which is known as, that undigested matter of food is known as the feces. That feces removes out from the body through the anus, the lower opening of the alimentary canal. So, students, listen carefully, and you have to learn this chapter. So, it is completed. If you will get any doubt, you can ask the questions. Thank you.
Our topic for today is digestive system in humans. Digestion is a process in which complex food material is broken down into simpler substances. The digestion of food in humans takes place in the alimentary canal, which is a long tube extending from the mouth to the anus. The different parts of the alimentary canal are buccal cavity, food pipe or esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and anus. Two glands, namely liver and pancreas, also help in digestion. The food is taken in through the mouth. It is chewed and mixed with saliva in the buccal cavity. Saliva is a digestive juice secreted by the salivary glands. The chewed food enters into the food pipe or esophagus and is then slowly pushed into a bag-like structure called stomach. The food is churned in the stomach to further break it down. The stomach also secretes mucus, digestive juices, and hydrochloric acid. The hydrochloric acid kills the bacteria in the food and makes the food acidic. The food then goes into a highly coiled tube called small intestine. The small intestine receives secretions from the liver and pancreas. The liver secretes bile juice, while the pancreas secretes pancreatic juice. The walls of the small intestine also secrete juices which help in further digestion of food. The inner surface of the small intestine has finger-like projections called villi. The villi have extensive network of blood vessels. The digested food is then passed into the blood vessels. The undigested food is passed into the large intestine. It is wider than the small intestine. Excess of water and salts are absorbed here, and undigested waste is passed out of the body through the anus.